I have mentioned before that the series of brief videos that I've made called something to the effect The Qualities of the Buddha are actually drawn from the Avatamsaka Sutra, the Flower Garland Sutra, an amazing, huge scripture with elaborate, fantastical characterizations as to the nature of the cosmos and the various Buddha lands. We see something called the meditation of enlightening being, universal good. And I think the way he uses the term enlightening being is the way other translators use the term bodhisattva mahasattva, or great bodhisattva, or what I think of as a cosmic bodhisattva. And I think universally good is basically his title for Samantabhadra, or the bodhisattva of universal goodness or great worthiness. He again is the bodhisattva who looks after those who concern themselves with and protect and look after the Lotus Sutra and those who revere the Lotus Sutra. He rides on his white elephant, and the third of the threefold Lotus Sutra is a focus on him with a meditation on his image. So I want to read you some of this, and this is not with the best microphone, but hopefully you'll appreciate hearing some of this story about the meditation of the enlightening being universally good in Book 3 of the Avatamsaka Sutra. The enlightening being universally good, the great being, sat on a lion throne made of a bank of lotus flowers, and imbued with the psychic power of the enlightened one, entered into concentration. This concentration is called the immanent body of the illuminator of thusness, which is in all enlightened ones. It enters everywhere into the equal essence of all enlightened ones, and is capable of manifesting myriad images in the cosmos, vastly and immensely, without obstruction, equal to space. All the whirling oceans of universes flow along into it. It produces all states of concentration and can contain all worlds in all directions. The oceans of lights of knowledge of all the enlightened ones come from here. It can reveal all the oceans of all conditions everywhere. It contains within it all the powers and liberations of the enlightened ones and the knowledge of the enlightening beings. It can cause the particles of all lands to be universally able to contain boundless universes. It develops the ocean of virtuous qualities of all Buddhas, and reveals the ocean of great vows of these enlightened ones. All the cycles of teaching of the Buddhas flow through it, and are guarded and maintained by it, and kept without interruption or end. As in this world the enlightening being universally good entered this concentration in the presence of the world-honored one, thus in the same way throughout the realm of space of the cosmos, in all directions and all times, in a subtle, unhindered, vastly expansive light, in all lands visible to the Buddha's eye, within reach of the Buddha's power, manifested by the Buddha's body, and in each atom of all those lands, there were Buddhas as numerous as atoms in an ocean of worlds, and in front of each Buddha were universally good, enlightening beings, numerous as atoms in an ocean of worlds, each also entering into this concentration in the immanent body of the illuminator of thusness in enlightened ones. What a vast, imagined universe, cosmos of great Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Sublime. At that time, each of the universally good ones saw the Buddhas of the 10 directions appearing before them. Those Buddhas praised universally good in the same voice. Good, you are able to enter this enlightening being's concentration in the immanent body of the illuminator of thusness in all Buddhas. This is fostered in you by all the Buddhas everywhere together, by means of the power of the original vow of the illuminating realized one, Vairocana Buddha, and it is also because you cultivate the power of the practices and vows of all Buddhas. That is to say, because you can activate all the cycles of the enlightening teaching, revealing the ocean of knowledge and wisdom of all enlightened ones, universally illumine all the oceans of distinctions everywhere, without exception, cause sentient beings to clear away confusion and affliction and attain purity, universally accept all lands without attachment, deeply enter into the sphere of all enlightened ones without impediment, and universally expound the virtues and qualities of all enlightened ones. Because you are able to enter into the true character of all things and develop knowledge and wisdom, analyze all the media of the teachings, comprehend the faculties of all living beings, and because you are able to hold the ocean of written teachings of all the Buddhas. At that time, all the Buddhas of the 10 directions then bestowed on the great enlightening being universally good the knowledge that enters into the power inherent in omniscience, the knowledge that enters into the infinity of the cosmos, the knowledge that perfects the realization of the sphere of all enlightened ones, the knowledge of becoming and decay of all oceans of worlds, the knowledge of the full extent of the worlds of all sentient beings, the knowledge that abides in the extremely profound liberation of all enlightened ones, and the non-discriminating knowledge of all meditation states, the knowledge that enters into the ocean of all faculties of enlightening beings, the knowledge of elocution to turn the wheel of the teaching in the ocean of languages of all sentient beings, the knowledge that enters in all ways into the bodies of all oceans of worlds in the cosmos, and the knowledge that comprehends the voices of all the Buddhas. What an endowment of knowledge that is. Okay. Let's go on a little bit. As in this world, in the presence of the Buddha, the enlightening being universally good experienced the Buddhas bestowing such knowledge, so in all oceans of worlds, as well as in each atom of those worlds, so did all the enlightening beings universally good there experience this. Why? Because they had realized that state of mental focus in this way. So he's portraying, or they're portraying in the Sutra, a myriad, innumerable number of Samantabhadras, if you will, all these great Bodhisattva Mahasattvas in all this universe of Buddha lands. Then the Buddhas of the 10 directions each extended his right hand and patted universally good on the head. Their hands were each adorned with the marks of greatness, being finely webbed, emanating light, fragrance, and flames. They also produced the various wondrous tones of all the Buddhas, and within it were manifested the phenomena of mystical powers, the ocean of vows of universal goodness of all enlightening beings of past, present, and future, the cycles of pure teachings of all enlightened ones, as well as the images of the Buddhas of past, present, and future. As in this world, universally good was patted on the head by all the Buddhas of the 10 directions, so in all the ocean of worlds, and in each atom of those worlds, the enlightened beings, universally good, were patted on the head by the Buddhas of the 10 directions. And of course, these are the 10 directions in the universe: north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, etc., and then up in the nadir and the zenith, all these 10 directions in the total universe. And imagine this being written back, 100, 200 AD, whatever, what a profound imagination these folks had to be able to portray these spiritual truths in this magnificent, cosmic, universal way. Then the enlightening being universally good arose from his concentration. When he did so, he rose from media of oceans of concentrations, numerous as atoms in all oceans of worlds. For example, he rose from the medium of concentration of skillful knowledge, realizing the worlds of past, present, and future have no distinction in the succession of instants. He rose from the medium of concentration of knowledge of all the subtlest and most minute constituents of all universes in all times. He rose from the medium of concentration on the manifestation of all Buddha fields of past, present, and future. He rose from the medium of concentration, revealing the dwelling places of all living beings. He rose from the medium of concentration of knowledge of various differences in locations of the universes of the 10 directions. He rose from the medium of concentration of knowledge of boundlessly vast clouds of Buddha bodies existing in every atom. He rose from the medium of concentration of explanations of the ocean of inner principles in all things. When the enlightening being universally good rose from such media of concentration, all the enlightening beings each found oceanic clouds of concentrations, numerous as atoms in an ocean of worlds, found ocean clouds of spells, found ocean clouds of techniques to teach everything, oceanic clouds of ways of fallacious expression, oceanic clouds of practices, oceanic clouds of lights from the knowledge of the treasury of virtues of all who realize thusness, oceanic clouds of non-discriminating techniques of the powers, knowledges, and wisdom of all enlightened ones, oceanic clouds of Buddhas, each manifesting myriad lands in each and every pore, oceanic clouds of enlightening beings, one by one, manifesting descent from the palace of the Tushita heaven to be born on earth and become an enlightened Buddha. Turn the wheel of the teaching and enter into ultimate extinction, all as numerous as atoms in an ocean of worlds. So they are portraying, the authors of this wonderful sutra, the impact of universally good on all of the enlightened beings, all of the bodhisattva mahasattvas throughout the universe and in all atoms of the universe. And of course culminates in the reference to Tushita heaven, where it is said that Maitreya Bodhisattva Mahasattva resides. And he is the cosmic bodhisattva who is imagined to be waiting in that heaven to descend into this Saha world, this earth of ours, to be the next historical Buddha here on earth as the successor to Sakyamuni Buddha of 500 BC. As when in this world the enlightening being universally good rose from concentration, all the hosts of enlightening beings received such blessings, so in all the ocean of worlds, as well as in each atom of each world, the same thing occurred. At that time, by the spiritual power of all the Buddhas and the power of universally good's concentration, all oceans of worlds in the 10 directions trembled. Each world was arrayed with precious elements and gave forth wondrous sound, explaining all things. And on each Buddha in the ocean of sights of enlightenment where the masses gathered, everywhere there rained 10 kinds of clouds of regal jewels. Clouds of beautiful gold star jewels, jewels like precious discs descending, shining light jewels, jewels of the treasury manifesting the images of enlightening beings, jewels extolling the names of Buddhas, jewels of brilliant light illuminating the sights of enlightenment in Buddha fields everywhere, jewels whose light reflects the various miracles everywhere, jewels praising the virtues of all enlightening beings, jewels with a light that shines like the sun, jewels whose delightful music is heard everywhere. After the universal rain of these 10 kinds of clouds of jewels, all the Buddhas emitted lights from their pores, and in the light rays spoke verses. These verses I will reserve for recitation with a better microphone as I get to it. You'll be able to hear it then. It will be referenced in the description as coming from Book 3 of the Avatamsaka Sutra, the meditation of the enlightening being, universally good. Namo Amida Butsu.